Welcome to the Trades Podcast, a podcast about the business of home improvement and promoting the trades to young adults. In this podcast, we talk with business owners, educators, and professionals about the benefits, skills, and related experiences of the home improvement business. Tips to help you with being successful from entry into the trades or established business owners. In this podcast, we hope to influence some young adults that the trades, as a career, is a great option leading to full and prosperous life. I'm Danny Torres, an MC, DJ, and podcaster, inspiring young adults by shining light onto career opportunities in our world today.
And I'm Jeff Mudd, home improvement contractor, writer of the Millionaire Carpenter series, and podcaster.
Stay tuned to 15 to 20 minutes of insightful tips. All right. Happy days, everyone. This is the TradesPodcast.com. I'm DJ Danny.
I'm Jeff Mudd, contractor, writer of the Millionaire Carpenter series, podcaster. Man, we've got a special guest today, Sam. So looking forward to him telling us about his business.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam, welcome in.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, go ahead and let everybody know who you are and what business you own.
Yeah, my name is Sam, as you know, Goodwin, and I own a company here in North County, San Diego called HOCOA, your home repair network, where we connect homeowners with great tradespeople, whether it be from plumbing, handyman, remodeling, roofing, painting, anything and everything between from the outside to the inside, from the front door to the back, from the floor to the ceiling, and the roof and more.
Yeah, and anything after that.
Yeah, pretty much. As long as you can fix it, repair it, rebuild it, remodel it, or build it, we have pros that can do it.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I mean, just skimming through your website and, learning more about it and stuff. And it's definitely something that a lot of people can use right now, obviously.
Yeah, it's super busy. Obviously, with COVID being over and people staring at their walls, seeing all the different things that they need done to their home. And some folks just don't know where to start. And so we become a resource for them where they can ask us questions and we can help guide them through and maybe even connect them with the appropriate pro or pros in our network to get those items done on their to-do list.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What has your experience been kind of right now during COVID? And how was it pre-COVID? And then obviously.
Yeah, pre-COVID was kind of normal, but obviously now there's just a lot of people looking for tradespeople. I mean, people are looking to remodel. People are looking for, just those nagging repairs to get done. And we've been seeing, all of our contractors are super busy right now. Everybody's just very busy. So there's kind of that shortage of skilled labor, appropriate, skilled tradespeople.
Yeah. So when you're talking to your contractors, Sam, are they telling you we're looking to hire, we just want to stay status quo, but we're out twice as long as we used to be? A little bit of both?
Yeah, a little bit of both, really. Obviously, they're looking for the appropriate people that they can hire, but a lot of them are booked out a couple of months in advance, depending on what kind of expertise you're looking for. So, for instance, the general contractors, they're super busy right now, multiple projects. But like you said, in terms of skilled labor, that's a little hard to come by right now.
Absolutely. You talking any contractors right now that are, I'm not going to just say doing something about it, but have they instituted any in-house programs or anything that's helping with recruiting? Yeah,
no, you know what? I haven't. Nobody's mentioned anything to me as of yet, with the exception of maybe you. But in terms of programs or best practices, I think there's a void out there, or there's an opportunity out there for them to go after.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking earlier about customer service, and I mean, that's one of the things my company, I think, has done a pretty good job at. We've been very conscious of it anyways, about doing our best with customer service. But you bring somebody in that's even gone through a basic on-the-job training or a trade school, and nobody's talking customer service. So I think that's part of what needs to be done, especially with young adults that's used to the fast food lines.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Instant gratification.
Yeah, no, I know. I want it done yesterday. And one of the things that I've always thought of is, the customer service. And that's where we kind of really try to stand apart with our businesses, being focused on helping the customer, helping the contractor get to the customer. But I think there's still an opportunity there for a customer service business building school for tradespeople, where it can really focus on, hey, this is how you can land more jobs, but also take care of the customer. And you know, Jeff, I mean, in our business, you have customers that are very price conscious, but then you have customers, hey, just they want it done right, correctly. They don't want any problems or minimize the problems or the challenges that may lie ahead with their project.
Yeah,
and they're willing to pay for that.
Or at least good communication on what the problem is and what the process is going to be to solve that problem, as opposed to reacting to it in an untimely manner. So that's agreed. One of the things that's lacking in some of the on-the-job trainings or trade schools out there. One of the things I was going to ask you, Sam, with the contractors you're working with, are they paying more right now?
You know, that's a really good question. And I think I would have to say most are paying a little more up than what they're accustomed to. And I think that's okay because of the demand that they're seeing right now. They're able to afford that and accompany that.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of a leading question for you, though. So one of the points is, because we have such a labor shortage, not just in San Diego, but across this nation and across multiple lines of trades, from talking flooring or a general contractor that uses multiple trades with their people in-house to do the demo and then the drywall and the plumbing and electricity and all that stuff, or somebody that's in a specialty contracting company, a plumber or the welder. There's such a shortage right now. The opportunity for a young adult or somebody to transition into the trades right now, that can turn into a very lucrative, high-paying career.
Yeah.
Especially if you put in the extra effort to do some additional training to advance your skills.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. For a person that is looking or is interested in it, it's a great opportunity, great timing to get into this business, into the trades. And the opportunity is not only to learn a new trade, but to get into some customer service and interacting with people. And but it's a huge, huge opportunity. If you're kind of out there not sure what you're going to do next, take a look at the trades, whether it be carpentry, HVAC, plumbing, anything that might interest you, landscaping. There's just a ton of opportunity.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I was like, because obviously there's a shortage right now, and with time, we hope that generations of whether they're family contractors, their parents or grandparents or cousins, uncles are in the industry already, and they're just looking to make some extra cash, and then all of a sudden they start finding out that I can probably do this on my own. They start wanting to kind of explore the business owning aspect. And being connected to HOCOA, I think, would definitely help them benefit on a business standpoint of if they're growing and they're adding more employees. What would their experience be like with HOCOA and kind of see exactly what they can expect?
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I mean, one of the things is we have some minimal thresholds. They have to be in business for at least 2 years. They have to be licensed and bond when appropriate, which is about 95% of the time. And they all also have to have at least general liability insurance. If they have employees, they need to have workman's comp. So we do have a minimal threshold that we have for the contractors and service providers that we refer out. But yeah, it's basically just another customer base. We've helped over 7,000 homeowners across San Diego County get connected to great trades pros, and we've handled over 15,000 different requests for repairs, maintenance, and this is over the last 10 years. So we have a good customer base that we've helped out, and we can basically match those people up with their needs to the appropriate trade professional. And right now it's just extremely hard to find, one, to find trade pros, but the second layer is to find good trades people, or businesses. But yeah, in the nutshell, somebody that's starting out in business, that's building up their business portfolio and their customer base, they want to look at, not having, quote unquote, all their eggs in one basket. Mm-hmm. And so they, from a business standpoint, it's probably a good strategy to have a couple of different areas or channels or platforms that you want to, whatever you want to call it, where they can get new customers or prospective customers. Yeah. And that's an avenue. that our contractors use us for. We're not all their customers, but we, have a good portion of customers for them. And there's one contractor I'm thinking of, we've probably given over $3 or $4 million worth of business over the last 10 years for them, just alone. So, it's been a great opportunity, and we've really enjoyed it. And like I said, we're just doing what we can. And the way I got into this business, maybe I should back up. I was a homeowner.
Yeah, tell us that
Yeah,
story.
that's probably that I should back up and say how I got into the HOCOA Home Repair Network business. So my wife and I met here in North County, San Diego, and after we got married, we had our first child. But at that time, I was working for a major Fortune 500 company. And after our son was born, they called up and said, "Hey, we got a job for you, but it's out back east in Connecticut." Okay, well, let's move to Connecticut. Why not? And so we bought our first home there, built in 1950, and it was one of those homes that you buy in the best neighborhood but the worst home, right? And I have a little bit of carpentry experience, but nothing.
Yeah, the one that nobody wanted.
Exactly right. And so I thought, okay, well, I've done a little bit. I took an electrical course in college, so I should be able to rewire a three-way switch, no problem. Well, of course, it was a problem. I, opened up a can of worms I couldn't remember how to fix.
More problems.
Exactly. And so I had to get an electrician out. And I found one through a different online platform that will remain nameless. Anyways, they came out and 30-minute job and charged me like $200, and I was like, oh man! But I had to get it done. And then I found another electrician through a friend. Super great, very affordable. Unfortunately, not consistent whatsoever in terms of showing up. It was like, hey, Ed, you were supposed to be here yesterday. My car wasn't working. My brother had to drop me off. And, and a great guy, don't get me wrong. So anyways, well, fast forward 2 years later, we moved again to Virginia. So we sold the house in Connecticut, bought a house in Virginia, started this whole process. House was built in 1971, decorated in 1972. So my wife is telling me, hey, we have this wallpaper from the 1970s I want out.
Don't tell me it was green.
Yeah, it was green and yellow, like a yellow gold. It was pretty awesome. So anyways, we had to hire a painter to try to remove the painter that my wife hired convinced her that, we can't remove the wallpaper because it's stuck directly onto the drywall, but I'll just paint over the wallpaper. Oh my gosh, what a nightmare. Anyways, so that didn't last very long. We hired a different painter, but
if we have any painters listening, they're probably just cringing.
Yeah, a little bit. Some of them. That one guy. No. Anyways, that was in Virginia. But what ended up happening is I ran into a guy that was running the HOCOA business in Virginia because it's a franchise. At the time, it was a franchise. And I said, hey, man, I need to paint my house. We're moving back to California at this time. We're going to sell the house. He goes, okay, I'll have 3 painters call you. I said, what do you mean? He goes, because I was talking to him on the phone. He goes, hang up the phone. I'll have my painters call you. I said, when? He goes, today. I said, really? He goes, yeah. Mm-hmm. Within a couple hours, I had 3 painters call me back, come out for estimates. And my wife went pretty much with the first one that showed up. And she was just like, oh, this is great, written estimate. So I shadowed him for a couple of weeks before we moved back to California. And then when we moved back here in 2010, decided, wow, this is a business I could really, get into because you get to work with contractors, meet with them, talk with them, but then also homeowners that are going through the same pain and frustration that I was going through as a homeowner, trying to find good tradespeople. So anyways, that's how I got into the business and never looked back. And
nice.
It's been a fun ride. Yeah, we've helped a lot of people and helped a lot of contractors and looking to help more people.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, I think earlier we were talking about like the instant gratification of, obviously a homeowner, their biggest investment that they're going to have, and being able to help them out and not have any issues with the person that comes out. I mean, you want someone that's reliable. You want someone that's, cool, nice, and nice to work with,
right.
presentable, and does a good job, obviously.
Yeah,
does a good job where you and I mean, obviously, if something does go wrong, you don't want them pointing the fingers at anybody else. It's like, hey, we'll come back, we'll fix it, we'll back up our work that we did, type of thing.
Yeah, and we minimize, like we said, we can't guarantee 100% no problems. Look, We've had problems. Fortunately, though, we've been able to minimize those problems and have a proactive approach. Like Jeff mentioned earlier, is full communication, and I think that's one of the biggest compliments that we typically get at HOCOA is that I really appreciate you guys following up, doing the phone call. Things don't always go as planned with some of the contractors, but and I have this one experience in my head right now with one of our clients that had some carpeting installed, and we didn't refer the carpet installer, but we did get them wholesale pricing on the actual material. And she just said, "Hey, I appreciate you guys following up. We finally got it done. Everything's taken care of, but thank you so much." And so that's one of the things is.
Yeah.
It's almost like having a third party quality control check
Yeah.
mediator between the contractor.
Kind of, yeah.
And you can't get that on those unnamed
Yeah.
online
Yeah, they're just
lead
there
sources.
right. Yeah.
Charge. Dealing with the contractors, Sam. You've probably seen them having some personal growth in their business, especially over this last couple of years. But one of the things that we kind of mentioned earlier was the path from getting into the trades, learning your trade, whether it's 6 months to get an apprentice job or spending 5 years to perfect it. It's definitely a pathway to business ownership, and soft skills, customer service, all that plays into it. But I think the opportunities out there for young adults to see that as not only a good career path, but business ownership to even more financial success. Have you seen any of that with the contractors you've worked with?
Yeah, I mean, again, we've really focused on contractors that have already been established. So we don't, I've met a lot of people that are getting into the business, and unfortunately, we don't work with them at that very, very early stage. But to your point, we've actually come full circle with a few folks where we met them early on. We didn't invite them into the network for a couple of years, and then they've either reached back out to us or we ran into them. And absolutely, that's one of those things that I think with what maybe you guys are being involved with, Jeff, is having a system in place, where you can work as an apprentice with a tradesperson, an established business, and then at night be able to take classes to, increase your skill set or have that certification to move on to that next level. But then to your point of, you can absolutely build your business, and it doesn't take $1 million budget to do it. You can do it on a shoestring budget. And really just referrals from existing clients is probably the biggest opportunity for any contractor or service-based business, in my opinion, because they'll be your biggest champions. You do a great job with one customer, they're going to tell everybody.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Absolutely. And you obviously deal with so many different homeowners that are reaching out, or property owners that are reaching out to say, hey, I need this type of job, and it's going to be very particular. And automatically, I'm sure you have contractors that you think of right away. What stands out between those contractors that you have that come at the top of your head compared to the ones that you think that are just starting out and just kind of doing smaller jobs? And what would you say to a business owner or kind of in that beginning stage, how they can get to that point, and what HOCOA would kind of look for?
Yeah, just in my personal recommendation is, you're starting out in business, you want to do a couple of things good all the time. Mm-hmm. So don't focus on being good to everything and learning how to say no to things that you don't know how to do. Biggest mistake that I see new contractors get into is they want to take on the world. Don't. Yeah. You don't need to. You don't need to do the window job. You don't need to do, focus on what you're really good at. Yeah. Okay? Just do that. Do it well. And repeat. Yeah.
Find your niche. Build a system behind it.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. Yeah. When you've got something down, you've got a big history and a full system, and everybody is working on the system together, then find a complementary trade that'll go with it that doesn't distract you. So
that's a great point. It's, you find something that you're good at, repeat at it. It's okay to say no to people, especially early on. Mm-hmm. Under promise, over deliver. If you take one thing away from what I say, under promise, over deliver.
Absolutely. That's going in the next book, Sam.
That's right. It should.
Contractors quotes.
Yes, under promise, over delivered. And sometimes unfortunately, people get that mixed up backwards. But if you can under promise, over deliver, you're going to be shining in that customer's eyes. So that's the one takeaway: under promise, over deliver.
Absolutely. So you got any advice for a high school kid getting out of high school and trying to figure out what to do right now with his life?
Don't do what I did. You know what? I would just say try to experience as much as you can. Limit your risk. That means don't put all your eggs in one basket necessarily, but under promise and over deliver. So if somebody suggests something to you and you say, look, I'd like to try it out, you can go to work for people. And if you're just out of high school trying to figure out what to do, call up a tradesperson, look them up, see if they're any good online. Say, hey, are you hiring? I'm new, I have limited or zero experience, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Mm-hmm. And make a commitment. It doesn't, make a commitment for more than a day, but go out there and try it. There's a lot of resources out there. And Jeff, I mean, you've been in this business for a long time, and people like yourself, a few others that are very giving people are willing to give you advice or help or point you in the right direction. And if you ask, you'll be pleasantly surprised that more people will want to help you than not.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a sign of success is when you can give back, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
That's great advice. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know in my company, I was lucky enough to have a couple of mentors early on, help sign for my contractor's license, even though I could see that, well, does that mean you're not going to help me out on my project anymore? Well, I'll do my best, but but they did it anyways. And I've signed for at least 3, if not 4, contractor's license.
That's
for
awesome.
people that have worked for me and develop their skills in not only the technical side, but the customer service side and the business side. I think is the hardest one to somebody in the trades to conquer, but gone on and started their own business. Mm-hmm. But the business side, there's a ton of education out there. So I know, Sam, you've gone to college. My son tried the same college you went to, a great school out there in Arizona. But getting into college creates a debt. You're not sure what you want to do. And I know there's a ton of people that have a great career path laid out for their life and go to college and are super successful. But you also see a ton of them get in there 2-3 years into the college, and what the hell am I doing this for? I don't even like this anymore. And that student loan didn't go away.
Yeah, and that's a really good point, Jeff. I could talk hours on end, but to give you the short version, so a lot of people, I'm a business owner, right? I own HOCOA, your home repair network business. I'm looking at some other business opportunities, but I went to college and I got my degree in agriculture technology management with an emphasis in crop production and information systems.
All right.
Do you like gardening now?
Well, I do. I did on occasion, but that's my point. I mean, I got a PhD in partying, but 5.5 years to an ag degree, and I grew up around the fields. My first job was chopping weeds in a cotton field on the Native American reservation, Pima Native American reservation in Arizona. And I have a lot of respect and pride in the farming industry. But what I realized going to college is I didn't want to be a farmer. Yeah. I wanted to be in business. And my last semester, I took a course in entrepreneurship, and that's where I was like, wow, that made sense. But you're right, Jeff. If I would go back and do it again, I would probably do it over. I'd probably maybe go to a junior college, get a job doing something else other than being a bouncer at a bar. But you're absolutely right. I mean, there's no. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I had a great time in college. Don't get me wrong, but I could have had other pathways, and there's choices out there. You don't need to necessarily just go to college.
Yeah,
that's absolutely.
If you're going to go to college, have a solid career path, be 100% committed,
exactly,
and have a line of a career path after college that you're passionate about all through college.
Yeah.
But if not, go get a job working for ex-contractor doing whatever. And as you find yourself, as you grow up, go back to night school. Save up enough money when you decide, I really want to do X. and I'm going to go back to college for it at 25 or
Exactly.
whatever, and you're going to go back without the college debt, a little more maturity, able to focus.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, I'm telling you, my mom went back to college when she was like 35, right? She didn't finish college. She was just, her grandmother or my grandmother would say, "Oh, we were all worried about your mom," and she went back to college at 35. My grandfather managed a tire store, and I think he worked at Sears. He went back to school at the age of 47.
Wow.
Got his degree in microbiology, and then became the health director for Chelan County in Washington. I mean, it was amazing. He had this whole second career. It's like, don't feel that, you need to go to college. There's a lot of opportunities.
I mean, that's exactly what, we want to shine that light on. Obviously, there's different career paths, different education paths that you can go with through the tradespodcast.com, interviewing business owners like you that maybe didn't get straight into the trades automatically, and other business owners that we've had on the podcast. Different storylines, different ways of getting there. But it's great to highlight these moments of being able to realize what is available, what the opportunities are out there, and just really understanding a little bit more of how to get there.
Yeah, and I think you could take just a day out of your 1 week.
Yeah.
And call different contractors to ask them, "Hey, are you hiring?" And 95% they're going to say yes.
Or even just like, "Hey, what's a normal day on the job like?"
Exactly. Yeah. Just to ask questions. And again, I think 9 out of 10 times the people will be more helpful than you would imagine. You'd be pleasantly surprised. So,
especially right now, I'm sure they'll throw in a sales pitch in there with you.
Probably, yeah. "Hey, come on over. Let me show you. You can be my right-hand man."
So I want to make sure everybody understands we are not bashing education or college in particular.
No, not at all.
But there's alternatives to all the paths to get there. As a business owner in my 20s doing handyman work, I went to junior college and got a certificate in business management. Learned a lot of stuff, but I did that after I did my day's work, after I made some money. The tuition for junior college was really, really affordable. And you can do that at any stage.
Yeah.
In
Absolutely.
a contracting career.
There's no doubt about it. And again, it's a great opportunity for anybody. I mean, one of the things I look back, I got my pilot's license when I was in high school. So when I was working on that farm during the summers between school, I would save up my money. And my father asked me, he goes, "What are you going to do with this?" And I said, "I don't know." He goes, "Didn't you want to ever learn how to fly?" I'm like, "Yeah." The little local airport was only 4 or 5 miles away. And so I'd take lessons. That's cool. And I thought, man, maybe I should be an airline pilot or commercial pilot. But you could do that. I could have been a mechanic, working on airplanes all day long. There's some great schools out there, some great trades. So, but yeah, I mean, there's anything is possible. College isn't the all be all. It's a great opportunity for the right people, but I don't want to get laden with debt and. Yeah. So, I mean, but there's all kinds of opportunities and there's different pathways. So don't think that one option is the only option.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. I've got some friends that own contracting businesses in different trades, and very quietly, when nothing's on and nobody's around, they'll say, "I make twice as much as my college graduate buddies." Don't tell them that, though.
Yeah. No, I know. Absolutely. So it's a great opportunity out there. The trades are wonderful because each job is typically different. You're not in the same kind of environment. You're helping people. So if you're that kind of person, definitely look into getting into the trades. Absolutely. Highly recommended.
Fantastic, Sam. What a grateful insight to your experiences and what people can accomplish when they, open up their mind and think outside the box. And so really appreciate you coming down here. Wish you the best of luck at HOCOA. And we're going to talk again, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook, online, HOCOA, HOCOA-CA.com. That's our website, and you can go there and leave me a comment if you like. But anything I can do to help, I'll be more than happy to try.
Yeah, what's the handles on Twitter? Do you know?
Oh, yeah, it's just HOCOA San Diego on
Cool.
Twitter and on Facebook.
Cool.
I think Instagram, too. I can't remember.
Nice.
Too many social media platforms.
Yeah, no, we'll throw that all out on the information on the website and all that. So, anybody that's looking to reach out, we'll make sure we put you in there.
Yeah, any way we can be of service, whether it's just informational, answering questions, offering insight, we will do our very best.
We appreciate it, and I'm sure a lot of people of our listeners will definitely look into it too. So thank you.
Thanks for having me, Jeff, Danny. Thank you. This is I think this is a great platform, and for anybody that's listening, these guys, Jeff knows what he's talking about, and this is I feel that this is going to be a great podcast.
Yeah, thanks so much, Sam. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
All right.